Looks good. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. Well, I can't see whether there's David. I only see it. Okay, there we are. Okay, are we ready to go? Everybody, I'll count down. Okay. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hello, David Delgado. Thanks so much for joining us from Jerusalem today. How are you?
Hi, Noel. I'm good. Thank you. And yourself?
Not bad, not bad. Now that you're here, I was hoping that as the Director of Marketing and Development for the Notre Dame Center there in Jerusalem, I was hoping that you could talk to us a little bit about the mood of the Christian community there in the Holy Land as the country now slowly begins to open up again.
Sure, Noel. So, as you may have known, Israel and sorry, I have to start again there. So,
Okay. Would you like me to start? Want me to start the intro again? Would that help? I can start again. Okay. 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 In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hello, David Delgado. Thanks for joining us on today's episode of Hope from Home, all the way from Jerusalem today. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you, Noel. How about you?
Hanging in there, hanging in there. Hey,
Thank
listen,
you.
as the director of marketing and development there for the Notre Dame Center in Jerusalem, I was hoping that you could talk to us a little bit about the mood of the Christian community there now that the Holy Land is starting to open up again.
Sure, Noel. So, as you know, the local community here, the local Christian community, is very tight knit. It's a small community. They're highly united. Everyone knows everyone in a way, and so the initial reaction was very quick to try and contain the spread of the coronavirus, right? And the emphasis that there was concern for family health, and just in general to try and really stop the spread. As you know, a lot of the families here live together, right? So you have the parents and then the kids living on top, and probably the grandparents on either one of the floors or right beside the house. And so there's a big concern, and there's a lot of solidarity that was shown to try to respect the rules, to maintain the spread. And we had some cases where, as you may have heard, in Bethlehem, a few suspected cases were heard, and rapidly the city went into self-quarantine. Everyone was staying home, taking the necessary precautions. Everyone's been very patient so far. But of course, it's been 2 months now, and so people are starting to ask, hey, when the church is going to open again? When can I receive communion? In another perspective as well, Holy Week this week was very special. Christians are very tied to the traditions here, of doing the procession on Palm Sunday, and that wasn't possible. So it was different, people were reacting differently, but another way, the ingenuity and the imagination and the rapid response of, going digital, live streaming masses, live streaming Holy Thursday from Gethsemane, which has a limited capacity. Also, in many people, locals who haven't been to that holy hour, to be able to experience it now from their homes, right? So that's been the mood, more or less.
Is there any ideas about when the churches might be open and the sacraments available again?
Right now, we haven't heard anything yet, as of yet, officially. The expectation, and there's some rumors going around that we're hearing that after Ramadan, everything will be clearer. That's at the end of the month, at the end of Ramadan. We'll have some indication. Of course, you have to keep within the Ministry of Health's guidelines, outdoor spaces limited to 20 people. We'll see what the rules change to next, but we're still in the live stream area.
Okay. Are you hearing any stories of faith or inspirations that you can share that's coming out of the Holy Land?
As I mentioned, again, this tight-knit family of the Christian community, a lot of solidarity. There's been some groups, organizing food and care packages for those that are involved. Those most deeply affected by this. There's an economic worry, of course, because a lot of the Christians here are involved in tourism. But you see unity, you see neighbors helping neighbors, and also in a way, I think the pandemic has brought together, the major faiths here. And so you saw a big example of this earlier in May, when the heads of all the religious communities here got together to pray for the end of the pandemic. That was very special. And so I think people are cooperating, people are united, and there's that emphasis in family unity, taking care of the family now when you can't, a lot of people are at work, so they're focusing on their families.
I see. That's good to hear. Now, what would you say gives you hope during this particular difficult time, personally?
Personally, no, I've been calling colleagues around. I've been calling my colleagues and to stay in touch with them. And even though they're worried, they're saying, David, tourism has boomed in the past 3 years in the Holy Land. Lots of pilgrimages have come, and we've been keeping busy. And now I can spend a little bit of time with my kids. Of course, I want pilgrims to come back and tourism to get going again, because it's our livelihood. But in a way, I feel that we're starting to value again. We're starting to value again the little things. Our family, our unity, helping each other, and so I think that gives me a lot of hope. Gives me a lot of hope that after this pandemic, people again realize the importance of like
Their family life.
Yeah, family life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Dave, for talking to us today and joining us for today's episode of Hope from Home. Keep
Thank
well.
you. Likewise, you too.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye. That's good.
Javier, what do you think? That's good? Excellent.